everyone, and welcome back to our 12-part series on ideas in wealth design. I'm Brendan Brown from OneServe, coming to you from the banks of Loch Ness in the Highlands of Scotland today. Last week I showed you how powerful arbitrage can be by using debt to help build wealth. This week in our fifth video I'm going to show you that debt is one of the biggest factors keeping 98% of the population poor, and I'm also going to show you how to break out of the debt trap with one simple strategy. You don't need to earn more or work harder, it's just a little bit of control and changing your mindset towards debt that's important. It's not impossible, you don't have to be trapped in debt forever. Most of us, when we start working for our income, immediately want to upgrade our lifestyle to reflect our new earning power. And we go out and we buy stuff. Usually it's a newish car and some clothes and, if possible, a property. Thanks once again to our belief that immediate gratification is fine as long as the monthly repayments are affordable. We sign credit agreements left, right and center. I want to take the purchase of a mid-level sedan as an example today, just to show you the real cost of buying on credit. The average entry-level BMW or Audi costs in the region of 400,000 Rand. You know, who would dare think of spending 400,000 Rand in cash on a very average car? Almost nobody would be that dumb. Yet we are quite happy to spend double that and more if we can just afford the monthly repayment. It makes sense, doesn't it? Now, because of our immediate gratification bug, the tendency to gauge our affordability is to look at only the monthly repayment as our marker for whether it fits into our monthly budget or not. We don't look at what the item actually costs us. And because the system knows we measure our affordability by our monthly cash flow, mostly because they fed us that belief through marketing, they find ways to reduce that monthly amount, but at the same time increase their profits massively. Like, for example, a balloon or a residual payment on an HP agreement. It lowers the monthly cost for the buyer, for us, but in turn makes the banks and the car dealers massively inflate the profits. Another deceptive tool by the financial institutions is interest-only mortgages, but that's for another video entirely. There are thousands of these tools marketed to us every day based on our brainwashed belief that if we can afford the monthly repayment, we can afford the item. It's wrong and we shouldn't be doing it. Let's look at one of the leading financial institutions' calculators to look at what this vehicle really costs us. I'm not going to count the maintenance and the fuel costs and the insurance costs for this example. I just want to show you the real and actual cost of this vehicle when you purchase it. Let's do a quick calculation.
Okay, so we put in the price, 400,000, no deposits, no trading for this particular example, interest rate average 12%, residual, let's say 50%. That gives us a 200,000 Rand value there over 60 months, 5 years, and we calculate the payment. 6,448 Rand and 89 cents per month. Okay, so if we take those figures and we put them into a spreadsheet, so the purchase price there, 400,000, 6,449 Rand a month. Over 5 years, this is how much we would have paid, 386,940 Rand. And this is what the value of the car would have dropped by over that same period. So over 5 years, we're looking at it being worth only 177,482 Rand. That's calculated at 15% per annum. But usually cars, depreciate even further than that by 20-25% per annum. So the residual owed at the end of that period is 200,000 Rand, which is more than the car is actually worth. Now you face a choice. Do you, settle that in cash or do you refinance it? If you paid the 200,000 in cash, the car would have cost you 586,940. But if you refinance it over another 3 years, there's 3 years repayments, 239,000. The depreciation of the car would have, further gone down to another, about 108,000. And the total amount you would have paid for the car is 626,088 Rand. And it's only worth 108,000. So the total loss you've got there is 517,000 Rand on a car that's only, that you supposedly thought you paid 400,000 Rand for. And it's only worth 108,000 at the end of that period.
So a sure way to lose over 500,000 Rand over 8 years, buy a car. So how do you get out of it? This is maybe the simplest strategy to get out of debt. Stop getting into it. No, seriously. This is the system that I'm using, and so far it's working really well. I picked the smallest debt, like a credit card or a clothing account, and I find a way to pay that. For example, if you have 200 Rand a month extra that you think you're saving, and your credit card is costing you 500 Rand per month, once that is settled, you now have 700 Rand to allocate to the next biggest debt. So apply that 200 Rand to pay it off. If that is your car, you'll be amazed at how fast you can pay off a vehicle by making small, regular, extra payments. If your car repayment is 6,000 Rand per month, and once that is settled, you now have 6,700 Rand per month to allocate to the next debt, probably your house. How fast do you think you can pay off an average house with an extra payment of 6,700 Rand per month? Let's look at it quickly.
Okay, if we look at the loan amount here of R1 million, which is the mortgage bond on an average property, at 9% per annum over 20 years, we're looking at a total interest payment over that period of 1.1 million, and the house would have been paid up in 20 years. Now, if we take, for example, our 6,700 Rand, which we created by paying off the car and paying off the credit cards and the clothing accounts and all of that stuff, and we add it in as an extra payment, watch what happens to our interest over here. It goes down to 364,000 Rand only, and the repayment period comes down from 20 years to 7.25 years. That's a saving of over 12 years of time to pay off your property.
There you have it then, a simple strategy to pay off all your debt by starting with a reallocation of only 200 Rand per month that you already had. That's it for this video. I thank you for watching. Look out for video 6 next week. I'm Brendan Brown from OneServe.